Welcome to season 3 of Taverns and Caverns, everyone. This is your dungeon master, HaphazardDM, or you can call me by my name, Ryan. We appreciate you joining us for this brand new season of Taverns and Caverns. I know we just recently finished season 2, but season 3 is going to pick up right where season 1 left off. So, without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce everyone that is partaking in season 3 because everyone from season 1 is not in season 3. Well, technically they are, but we're doing season 3 a little differently. For our old listeners that have been with us since season 1, we all know that season 1 focused on a group of adventurers known as Cat and Co. We had 4 adventurers by the name of Nomu, the Monstrous, Ediar Desone, Isundra, and Damien / Desiree. For season 3, this is going to be a little different. I have 2 story paths that will be taking place at the same time. And for story path A, we'll be following the story of Isundra, Damien, and 2 new characters that we'll be introducing by the name of Alaric Silverwind and Thaddeus Faust the Third. And we'll be going over who's playing these characters here momentarily. But on story path 2, or B, we'll be following the story of Nomu the Monstrous and Yala, including a 3rd character that we will introduce once we get to that episode. But that's for the path 2 episode. This is going to be focusing on path 1. So let's go ahead and start off with the players that we all recognize and know that were in season 1. I'm joined tonight by Felicia and Bry, and I'll leave it up to the 2 of them if they want to describe their characters, because again, season 3, it follows the story after season 1. However, it is a brand new story, so technically, if you're a brand new listener, you don't have to listen to season 1 to really enjoy season 3, but there are going to be plenty of references to the story of season 1, and obviously characters in season 3 that you may not really recognize unless you listen to season 1. But again, that's not to say you can't enjoy season 3. I'm going with a whole brand new story to this. So, I mean, you'll still be able to enjoy it. But we'll start with Bry. Hello, Bry. Thanks for joining us again in season 3.
Oh, hello. It's good to be back.
Yes,
You back
yes.
as Damien Grail, otherwise known as Desiree Lovelace, if you're nasty or rich.
I miss Damien. I'm not gonna lie.
I
Don't
too.
don't get me wrong. I love Stella Bogenheim from season 2, but Damien and Desiree, just something about they were the OGs.
Oh, geez.
And it's hard to forget the OGs. Do you want to do a quick description of Damien / Desiree for maybe the new listeners that are starting with season 3?
Sure. So, I mean, you can agree or disagree with this description. But Damien is a devoted father and husband who is out to not only go on adventures for money for his family to send his daughter to college, rainy day fund, but also trying to find himself and face the things that happened in his past with his brother. And he, occasionally, because of rogue business, disguise business, the master of disguise that he is, um, he'll go into his alter ego of Desiree from time to time. And he ran into some adventurers along the way. I wouldn't use the word greedy. I am monetarily motivated, very aesthetically pleasing, and wouldn't hurt a fly.
Oh, so Bry says.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
also
said you can agree
carries
or disagree.
bags of rice and has a grudge right now against Marvin from season 1's episode 1.
We will not speak of that trash, that traitor, that messy bitch.
You still have bootleg Tommy though.
He's a good friend.
That's your boy.
He's a good
He
guy.
may fuck up all the time, but that's your boy.
Nope. He gets me the information I need when I need it.
That's right.
It's the
And
truth.
hey, Bootleg Tommy will be making a return in season 3.
As he should.
All right. Well, thank you, Bri. Next up is obviously Felicia, who plays Isundra. Felicia, would you like to introduce yourself and your character, Isundra?
Hi, I'm Felicia. I play Isundra, and she is would you call her spunky? I feel like she's a little spunky wood elf, warlock who has a patron that rides a corgi, which is very important. Um, she enjoys sleeping in beds, not the floor.
Eddie.
Yeah, her arch nemesis is gone, Ediar, if you listen to season 1, so she actually gets to have her own room now. She's pretty pumped about that. Other than that, she's just looking for I guess she's looking for revenge for her parents' death, right? I mean, I don't know if I'd call it revenge, but she wants to kill what killed her parents.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and we briefly learned a tiny bit of that in season 1, but we didn't go into too much detail on that. So perhaps, listeners, we dive into the backstory of Isundra, season 3, maybe. And the patron that she follows that rides this corgi is a Fae patron by the name of Napoleon Fayapart, and the name of the corgi is Morengo. And also, Isundra is the only one that can see them. So, in season 1,
Yeah.
whenever the corgi and Fae would show up and Isundra would talk to them, the rest of the
Everyone just
cast
thinks
thought
she's
she was crazy.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
She is.
she is, and she's an Outlander, so her background's Outlander, so she's not used to the city life. Well, maybe now she is after spending time with Cat and Co.
She's getting cushy.
She's
Yeah.
getting cushy.
Good
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah, if we remember episode 41, it's a date. She actually scored a date with another elf girl by the name of Linnell.
I don't know if I'd call it successful.
It probably wasn't. Well, the listeners.
That's for her to answer.
Exactly. And for the listeners to find out by going back to season 1. That's episode 41, guys. It's called It's a Date. Check it out.
Have you been listening to them? Why do you know what episode it is?
Because I'm on the podcast uploading episodes. I see all the titles and stuff. I have all my notes. I literally have a giant Google Doc of every episode and everything that's that we're doing. So hey man, I'm the dungeon master. This is the kind of stuff I need to know.
Doing work.
I know, but thank you, Felicia. And joining us for season 3, we all know him from season 2, but he's now in season 3. Rod, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Rod. I will be playing Thaddeus Faust III. He's a half-orc, son of artificient artisans from the Lande, I think. Was it Lande? Yes, Lande. But he is the cousin of another character from season 2, from Brother Faust. And they were, spoiled kids, half hellions, and they shipped them off to military school. So basically, they went through there. They separated when they met a wrestler Payne.
No.
Thaddeus didn't like.
Hell no.
Thaddeus didn't like what Father Payne was selling, so they separated. And Thaddeus became a paladin and off for an adventure.
He was upset Brother Faust joined a cult.
Yup.
Pretty much.
Couldn't save his brother. That's a documentary waiting to happen right there.
He wasn't drinking the Kool-Aid.
No.
And for those that may not know who Father Payne is, that is a character from season 2, and I guarantee you will laugh your ass off once you get to know Wrestler Payne and his cult. But we'll leave that behind in season 2 at the Land of Ashai. But thank you, Rod, for joining us in season 3. And as you mentioned, you are the Paladin. So with you being a Paladin, you are technically the main tank for season 3's party, taking the place of Nomu the Monstrous, who was our Tabaxi fighter that had no HP. I had to give him an item to give him more HP because he kept rolling terrible on his HP rolls.
I
But
don't know about that.
no, yeah. But you are technically the tank now. But last but not least, I want to introduce a brand new member to the cast. Kendall will be playing. Well, I'll let Kendall say this. Kendall, welcome to the group. You want to introduce yourself?
Hello, yeah, I'll go ahead and introduce myself. So, my character, his name is Alaric Silverwind, and he is a moon elf, and he's a twilight cleric. He is wearing plated armor with a wayfarer's robe. He has glowing white eyes, and he has white hair with pastel blue tips on his hair, and he has a goatee. And he's pretty much part of a group of spiritual warriors that are struggling to fight against darkness, or the balance of darkness. There's a dark fae named Nocturne, and that is the bringer of terror. And so far, we're losing that battle. So I'm looking to receive help to try to restore that benevolent energy to darkness.
Perfect. And thank you, Ken. And as you all heard, he's playing a Twilight Cleric. So he'll be taking the place of Ediar Desone, who was also a cleric, but not a Twilight Cleric. And actually, I can't remember exactly what type of cleric Ediar was. I'm about to look really quick because that's kind of throwing me off here. What kind? He was a cleric. He was
A bad one.
He was a protector.
Oh,
God damn! You hear that?
shade.
You hear that, Ken? Don't be a bad cleric now.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Y'all
I
better
rolled
leave
good,
AR
so.
He
Other than that,
was a protection.
Just mad because she's, made her sleep on the floor.
Yep. That was like episode 2.
Never forget.
Never forget. You hear that? You hear that, Julian? We're talking about Ediar, brother. But he was protection domain, whereas Ken is a Twilight domain cleric. But as I mentioned, since it is a continuation of season 1, season 3, we are starting off fresh. The only difference is between season 1 and 3, obviously the cast being slightly different. We are starting off as level 7 characters. The cast left off season 1 at level 7. So, we'll be starting off with some pretty badass characters already for season 3. And as I mentioned, Ken is new to Dungeons and Dragons. So again, thank you, Ken, for showing your interest, and thank you for joining us. So for our listeners, as we started season 1 with a lot of brand new players, I will be helping Ken as we go through this, giving him, some of the basic rules and whatnot as we go, which is what I'm always about. So for any listeners that are brand new, you might learn a thing or two perhaps, or maybe you won't. I might not be the best to learn from. I have some bad habits when it comes to D&D as a DM, which is why my handle is HaphazardDM. I kind of just haphazardly throw shit together. Sometimes I make up rules. Sometimes, most of the times I don't. But, it's strictly about the fun, and that's what we're here for. So thank you, listeners, and thank you to our players for introducing characters. I want to go ahead and just give a description of what is happening in the world of Reverie. Again, this is all homebrewed. Everything that happens in this world is things I make up, and I don't use any campaign setting books. This is just all made up shit on my end, and that's half the reason I enjoy being a dungeon master, because I like making up my own stories and shit. Now, not to say I don't like the actual content that's published out there to use, but homebrew makes it a little bit more fun for me, and I think the cast here can agree with that. So let me go ahead and just read off some of my notes here of what happened last in season 1 to give you a quick recap, but also to start off this session. So give me one moment here. So I'm just going to read this shit off. I kind of just typed this stuff as I went. If there's typos, I apologize. I kind of just threw this all together. I typed it up last night and the night before while I was tired as hell from work. But here we go. Episode 1, Dawn of a New Day. Approximately 4 months have gone by since the gruesome battle between Archibald de Darkmoor and the adventurers known as Cat & Co. Thanks to Cat & Co., Archibald's vision of sacrificing the nation of Dorwyn to obtain the status of Demon Lord had failed horribly. With the help of Aviris de Darkmoor and her entourage, the adventurers took Archibald head-on within the walls of his mansion during his demonic ritual summoning. For those that listen to season 1, you'll definitely remember that in the last episode. However, victory did not come without heavy costs to the adventurers. Several allies had fallen during battle, which devastated the adventurers, crushing their morale and hopes for celebration despite being victorious. The adventurers left Dorwin soon after to return to the nation of Londe in hopes of finding a way to resurrect one of their fallen comrades. With the fall of Archibald and his 2 children, Vanya and Badger, the Darkmoor family estate is now commanded by Aviris de Darkmoor herself, last and only child left of the Darkmoor household. Unable to truly cover up her father's atrocities, Aviris has accepted that her family name's reputation has forever been tarnished. However, the opinions of those on the outside have always mattered little to her. As we all know, Aviris de Darkmoor doesn't give a fuck about whoever gives a fuck about her. So as promised, the adventurers had not seen or heard from her since the battle with her father, Archibald de Darkmoor. So we all know Cat & Co. despised Aviris. You're now in Season 3, and we're just going to say it right now. Aviris did go by a secret alias, the Skull Reaver. If you listen to Season 1, you all know who the Skull Reaver is. And that is who Aviris secretly was. But all that is known about her now is that she is committed to rebuilding the trust in her family name by any means necessary. Going forward, after their long journey from the city of Wolfpine to the capital city of Stratham, again, which is the capital city of Londe, the adventurers had hoped to visit the Cathedral of the Octatic Divine with the goal of reviving their fallen comrade, Elroy Haskins. Unfortunately, the cost of resurrecting someone is terribly expensive and is typically rare in the world of Reverie. Despite gaining hefty funds from Aviris, the adventurers were out of luck due to the cathedral not having one of the required materials to perform the ritual of resurrection. A vial of sap procured from the Great Vitalis Tree, located in the nation of Asia, is required to perform this ritual. And the sap happens to be the most important ingredient necessary when attempting to resurrect a person and is commonly known as the elixir of life. So that's just some information for you guys. Whenever I mention the elixir of life, it's basically the sap that comes from the great druidic tree in the nation of Asia. And due to this predicament, the cathedral has offered to preserve Elroy's body for a cost, which would allow the adventurers time to seek out the elixir. However, before being able to plan their next move, the adventurers received a message from Iman Vanellis, the current guildmaster of the Adventurers Guild located in the city of New Tempest, who has requested their immediate presence. Split between the decision of reporting to the Adventurers Guild or traveling south to obtain the elixir, the adventurers had decided to temporarily split ways. Nomu the Monstrous and Ediar de Sonne would travel to Rava's Grove to procure the elixir of life, while Isundra, Damien, Yaito, and Yatari would travel westwards towards the city of New Tempest. Rogar had agreed to stay in Stratham for the time being to oversee that Elroy was properly being supervised by the cathedral, while Gracia had chosen to report back to the Adventurers Guild in the city of Stratham to continue her work as an adventurer. Many weeks have now gone by since the adventurers decided to split ways. Isundra, Damien, Yaito, and Yatari have finally arrived in the city of Wynn once again. Exhausted from their travels, the party takes shelter at an inn next to a familiar tavern known as the Quacking Donkey. We now move forward into the next day, and the adventurers find themselves stepping into the Adventurers Guild of New Tempest to seek out Master Iman Vanellis. So, there's a quick little, well, I don't want to say quick, but there's a recap of what happened at the end of Season 1 and why Cat & Co. have split up into 2 separate parties. And with that, you guys do find yourselves, it is morning, you're stepping into the Adventurers Guild, and as always, New Tempest is the city of Wynn, the city of universities, and it is one of the major cities in the nation of Londe, which is known for all of its universities and schools of magic. And this is where you met Yatari and a couple of other fascinating characters. But with this city being as major as it is, the Adventurers Guild is one of the bigger establishments when it comes to the guild that you have seen in your travels. So as the group, which is Damien, Isundra, Yaito, and Yatari, step into the guild hall, you notice it is bustling and hustling. There are several adventurers, sprawled out throughout the guild hall, sitting, having conversations with one another. They're trying to take on quests to make gold or do whatever adventurer wants to do. And the four of you standing there, you notice there is the receptionist by the name of Linnell. And as we've mentioned in season 1, she and her other sisters all typically work at the Adventurers Guild. It's kind of like a play. It's not kind of. It literally is basically Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny of this world. All her sisters look just like her, except they all have different names that end in L. We call them the L sisters. Prime example: Linnell, Manel, Renell, Hinnell, and so forth. But Linnell is, as we remember, is the one that our group first met in season 1, and it is also the elf that Isundra asked to go on a date with, which, in Isundra's opinion, could have been good, could have been bad. We don't know. Yaito was there. He remembers, but you guys, finally step into the guild. You're being sought out by Master Iman Vanellis. We don't see Ken's character right now. I know he's on the map, but just ignore that for now. And you don't see Rod's character yet. So with the two of you stepping into the guild, you've been here before, you know this guild hall. What do the two of you do? Yatari and Yaito are following in right after you guys.
Isundra is going to see Linnell and basically start prancing over there.
Of course she would. It's been 4 months since the battle with Archibald, so it's been a while since you've seen her.
I got some shit to brag about.
All right, so as you go prancing, Yaito, he looks over and he goes, it is Isundra's favorite elf. Damien, what do you think? Is it going to go well this time?
I don't see why not. I mean, we got a lot to say, right?
This is
Right?
true.
We have more money.
This is very true. More money, which means more tea.
More scotch neat, more wigs. Yeah, I gotta put aside a little bit for myself. Send the rest back to my wife.
And speaking of your wife, since you guys were in Stratham to visit the Cathedral of the Octatic Divine, Damien did have the opportunity to visit, his family, his 2 children, which I did write their names in your character's bio on Roll20 because we did
Thanks.
forget for a hot minute there.
I won't anymore.
But it's in your bio page. So yeah, so your character did have time to visit them during the travel back from the nation of Dorwyn. But
if that's the case, then shit, I only got 1,000 gold left. I gave it all to her.
Goddamn, your daughter was saving up to go to school here in New Tempest.
Did you deposit any money? We deposited money.
No, I don't trust banks.
Oh, okay.
Especially not in this made-up ass
You only
world.
got 1,000 gold left?
I gave it all to my wife.
Damn.
And for our listeners, what was the name of your wife again?
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline, right? And your kids were
Maxine and Justin.
Maxine and Justin, and then your mother-in-law, the devil.
Oh, Janine.
Janine, yes.
The devil.
But with Isundra prancing over towards the counter, Linnell doesn't notice you at first. Linnell has her back turned to the counter. She's busy. Looks like she's wrapping up some scrolls. There's a little bell right there for you to tap to get her attention if need, or you can just say something. Yatari is looking around. She's been at the Adventurers Guild before. She looks a little nervous though. As we all remember, Yatari is one of the few characters that got her ass beat during that last fight, and she's kind of like a little over it at this current moment. But she's there right now. She's kind of sticking quiet.
We told her to stay home.
You did, but she wanted to partake in it, and then as soon as Avira saw her, she was like, "Nope, you're staying. You're fighting, bitch." So, I mean, partly that's her fault, but she wanted to join. So, but she's a little bit uneasy. She hasn't been home for quite some time, and we'll get to Yatari here momentarily because this is where she's from. And when you first met her, she was a student at the universities, and she technically still is. But we'll get there. Isundra, as you're at the counter, what do you say? Linnell doesn't notice you just yet.
Linnell!
as you
Hello.
as she seems to be somewhat busy. It's loud in the Adventurers Guild. There are people chatting and talking all over, but after a few seconds, she does hear you. She turns around and she looks at Isundra and realizes who you are, remembers you almost instantly. She gives you a smile. She walks up to the counter and she goes, "Oh, Isundra, welcome back. How have you been?"
Oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe what we've done.
Well, that's what you said last time. What did you and Cat and Co get into this time?
Well, what did I tell her last time? Jeez.
I don't know. It's been months.
I'm like, what did we get into then? If it was if
Well,
she's like,
well, remember the last you spoke with Iman Vanellis. You guys know who Iman Vanellis is. He is the guildmaster of this branch, and you've actually spoken to him a couple times. And the last conversation you had with him, you were deciding if you wanted to tell him everything you knew about Avirus de Darkmoor or not, because you
yeah.
weren't sure if you wanted to tread those waters or not. The group ultimately decided to not tell him everything they knew about Avirus. They brought her name up, which made him curious about her, but you guys ultimately decide not to tell her or tell him everything. So he is not privy to the whole "you helped Avirus kill her father" shindig thing.
no,
Now,
should I not spill the beans?
I mean
then? Damn.
that's up to you. Now everyone, it's wide world news that Archibald de Darkmoor was doing some crazy summoning ritual in his mansion. However, Avirus got rid of all the evidence that showed he was trying to basically create another catastrophe, like the situation with the forgotten nation of Raccoonra, which is now known as the Decaying Waste. In
Oh,
season
great.
one, yes. In
Now it
season
looks like
one,
we killed him for no fucking reason.
well, Avirus didn't leave all the evidence. Or she didn't get rid of all the evidence. He still had hundreds of dead bodies in his mansion as if he was summoning something. It's just the nation of Dorwyn has no idea what he was trying to do, but everything points to he was doing some shady shit with demons, but no one understands that he was trying to become a demon lord. So that is kind of hidden, swept under the rug, because he was trying to destroy and sacrifice a whole nation of Dorwyn to become a demon lord, which is what happened long ago to the nation of Raccoonra, and that's why the nation of Raccoonra now is called the Decaying Waste, because that land has been torn asunder by demons. That is not known. So you might not want to spill those beans unless, you want Avirus coming after you, but who knows? But you haven't heard from her since. So, but yeah, so people do know that Archibald was into some dark shit, but that's about it. But no one knows you were part of that battle with Avirus.
Okay, well then I'm not gonna tell her all that. We're not that close, I guess. So she's just gonna tell her. I'm gonna say like, "Oh, you really blew the winds out of my the wind out of my sails. Now I don't know what to tell her."
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I was ready to tell her we had this grand adventure and we did
I
some
mean,
cool
you
shit.
still
and
can. You just don't have to give her the details.
Well, I can't spill the beans. She'll tell her boss.
That's true. She might.
Damien notices that she's struggling. I'm gonna go up. Can I roll to see if I can kind of save this?
Yeah, please do.
I'm gonna tell her. I mean, of course. All right, 15 performance.
All right, so with your 15 performance, tell me, how is Damien? And first off, is Damien dressed up as Damien today, or is
Damien is Damien today.
Okay, perfect. So
Isundra starts to say something about, we had this great big battle and my Eldritch Blast was so big. And then you can cut in.
Yeah, it was massive. It blinded me. But listen, the things we did, the things we saw, can't even tell you. You see Cat? You see Baldy? No, you don't. Because things went down, man. Between you and me, the Sundra kind of saved all of our asses. But, you can't tell ADR that because, then he'll see me giving out compliments, then he'll want a compliment. And then, I just can't dig that deep to lie. But yeah, it's been crazy. We've been all over fighting, curing curses.
Linnell places a hand over her mouth. Oh my. Sounds like the four of you have been extremely busy these last couple of months. Speaking of Kat and Ediar, where are they? I don't see them.
Caught up with Taverns and Caverns, or just needing more Dungeons and Dragons in your life? Why not check out another Geekly Inc. show, Greetings Adventurers? Join Rourke, Screech, Celine, and Chuck on their mishap adventures as they bumble their way through a world where magic is forbidden and an evil emperor needs to be stopped. Will they be able to keep their magic abilities a secret, or will they be discovered and meet a different fate from the emperor? Probably both. But join us to find out. New episodes release every Monday, and episode live streams are every Tuesday at 8:40 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/geeklyinc.
They're taking care of some business. They'll be
Ediar
around.
died.
What?
Whoa!
He's dead to me.
Oh, fair. That tracks.
Linnell just goes, oh, okay. Well, it's good to see you as well, Damien. Welcome back. I see Yaito and Yatari back there enjoying themselves. It's been a while. It's been a really long time since we've last, seen you here at the guild. I'd love to chat a little bit more, but to my understanding, you're here to seek out the guild master, Iman Vanellis, yes?
Well, he was more wanting to seek us out. I don't want to tell him anything. I'm just kind of tired of him summoning me, I'm no call girl.
This is true, Damien, but it is part of the contract when you join the Adventurers Guild that you have to answer to the guild masters when they call for you, unfortunately. But it's typically for urgent business. It's very rare where they call out to people. So whatever he has to speak with you about, I'm sure it's extremely important. Probably something along the lines of what you last spoke about.
It better be important. He's interrupting my shopping.
And Linnell just smiles. Well, we can speak afterwards, but I should let him know that you're here. So if you give me a moment, I will go and fetch him, and you can meet with him in his office. Give me a minute or two, and I'll go let him know.
Hey, hold on. Before you do that, so what's up? You gonna go out with my friend again?
She looks at Damien and leans forward to whisper to Damien. I mean, sure, why not? She has to ask me though.
Oh, she will.
Oh, well, then maybe yeah.
Cool. Yeah. All right, you can
But
go get him.
did she really save the day, or were you just, trying to wingman for her?
Hell no, she saved the day.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I did work. Let's not, undercut me, because the way I came out, the way I looked, the flex I ain't gonna make this about me. I'm just gonna let you know that as a team, the Adventurers Guild has nothing to worry about. Any jobs no one else can solve, send them our way.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Well, if she asks me out again, maybe that'll be another date. The last one was fun. There were some awkward things that happened last time, but I thought it was fun. Meanwhile, Yaito's in the back sweating because he was throwing origami birds and shit at the table.
Yeah, that restaurant, I hear it's weird things happen there. I think it's cursed. There's a Reddit thread about it. Anyway, so I have her take you somewhere more private, more, quiet, so y'all can talk. Don't have to worry about all that mess,
Sounds good
Isundra's
to me.
just standing there while you guys whisper to each other.
Yeah, you make me a perception, see if you can hear them. Isundra. Let's see what you roll on your perception. And I know Ken's character's not here yet, but again, this is a good opportunity for Ken to listen in and see how D&D plays out. So Ken is learning here with the rolls and things. So Felicia rolled a 23 on perception. Isundra is able to pick up what they're saying as if they weren't even whispering, but they're both acting like they're whispering. Isundra, you can hear this all with a perception of 23. Because it's not like they moved to the back room or something to talk. You're still right there next to them.
She's pretending like she isn't listening.
Awkwardly staring at
looking
the wall and
around.
shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Whistling.
And with that, Linnell smiles and she nods her head. Well, give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. And she's
Mhm.
gonna walk around to go and inform Master Iman Vanellis of your presence, leaving the four of you there. And again, it's busy. It's, people are around. There's plenty of adventures you've never seen before, a lot of new faces that you don't remember. Brosh is not here, Rogar is not here. But Yaito, Yatari walk up to the two of you, and Yaito just goes, "Oh, that was quite the reintroduction, Isundra. It sounds like you may possibly have another date, yes?
I'm so excited.
Would you like a cup of tea to celebrate this occasion?"
I don't know if we have time for tea.
I am sure Master Iman Vanellis would like to enjoy some of the teas I have bought throughout our adventures. As you remember, everywhere we stopped, I had to buy a new type of tea. Being from a shy, as you all know, I don't have all the different flavors that Tirister has to offer. Maybe he'll like the Earl Grey. I still have some matcha from a shy. Perhaps he may like to try.
He'll get what he gets. What's taking him? I'm antsy
Yatari
these days, man. So much has
Yatari is
happened.
just like looking around and she's scratching her chin. She's like, it's been quite some time since we've been here, guys. Being back here in New Tempest just reminds me of the library incident when I tried to summon some fire elementals and Nomu tried to spider climb and jump. Do y'all remember that? He got his ass whooped. I'm getting some bad memories right now of that. Speaking of the schools, I do have to report back to my professors and things. Technically, I wasn't done studying. So as much as I want to partake in what's about to happen, I will, but I do need to maybe go back to my old dorm room, make sure everything's still there.
Ryan's trying to get her out of here before we
Right.
take her on an adventure again.
No,
Right.
I'm not.
It's fine, you know, and we ain't holding you hostage.
She's still there.
She's been looking for an out all these 4 months.
Right. She's like,
She wanted to, yeah, what we say? You fuck with us, you stuck with us. But at the same time,
Is
we're
she
no
part of the
beggars.
Adventurers Guild?
Yes,
She just
when you
okay.
first met her, she wasn't, but she eventually joined the Adventurers Guild. So yes, she is technically part of the Adventurers Guild. More of a part-timer for now.
She's about
But
to quit.
she's about to hang up her badge like, no, I'm done after this shit. She said, I ain't that ride or die like Elroy. I'm just joking.
You should definitely go back to school. You paid a lot of money for that.
Hell yeah, if my daughter dropped out, went on a crazy adventure, and started failing, I'd whoop her ass.
Yatari just, I don't have a father to whoop my ass. I don't have parents. And
I'll whoop your ass.
I just want to say the spider claim thing was not my fault. That was totally Nomu's fault.
Well, I understand. I believe that because Nomu is a bit of a crazy when I've seen him in combat. He does some
He has
things
no
with
HP. I don't know what he's doing.
he has absolutely no HP. He doesn't think before he leaps. But
Don't change the subject. Stay in school. And Damien walks toward the bar.
Well, Damien,
Is there a bar in here?
I did earn just as much money as you did from Avirus.
Shh. See, this is why your ass need to go back to school. Snitch. You're not supposed to say anything.
Meanwhile, Yaito's Yatari, you have much to learn. You have been traveling with us for quite some time, but you still need to know the ways of Cat and Co. As they say, ride or die, bitch. And Yatari's just like, listen, I'm going back to school, but I'm almost done. I only have 1 semester left. And I put a hold. Professor Tobias Montero promised that nothing would happen. I just need to go back to my dorm to make sure that everything's still intact. And don't forget, you left your dog, Mr. Bojangles, with Professor Tobias Montero. You might want to check on Mr. Bojangles. Just saying.
I think he's better off here.
Now, this is probably true, but I'll let you be. Go get your drink, Damien. I know you want to drink.
Nah, I'll wait till we have the talk first. You know, I'm trying
That's
to.
probably smart.
Yeah. A lot of things can't be unsaid after I was drunk, and I've been thinking these past 3-4 months about my behavior, and I've come to the conclusion that although I'm not the problem, maybe the liquor is.
Kendall said, David's a real one. and I know I Ken, I know we haven't gotten to your character yet, but that's just because we're reintroducing everyone, and trust me, Ken, your character will have plenty of moments to shine and jump in here, and same with Rod's character. But this is also a good way to kind of show you, how the interaction of role playing works between Isundra and Damien, and how some of their roles are working. So this kind of helps you teach you a little bit and show you some before we get to your character. But yes, Damien is a real one. This is true. Scotch neat's his favorite drink. Don't forget it.
Or he's gone sober.
Yeah, we'll see for how long.
Whoa. That's a huge step. I am making strides.
So as the four of you wait momentarily, Linnell eventually comes back out and she waves over. Hey guys, Master Iman Vanellis is ready to speak with you. Please follow me. I'll take you to his office. And I will reveal the office map here to the left really quick. And give me one hot second. You'll see his office, the exact same map we used last time. So go ahead and place your characters in there. And you'll notice as the four of you, including Yaito and Yutari, step in, Linnell opens the door, welcomes you in, and then shuts the door behind you to give you the privacy. The office of Master Iman Vanellis, as I've mentioned, he is an older, matured elf who used to be an adventurer. He is now one of the most experienced Adventurers Guild masters that are around in Tirister. Definitely much older elf compared to Isundra. And he's got the long blonde hair, blue eyes. He is a fighter class and has 2 blades on his back. Obviously, they're not on his back right now. His blades are on the wall being hung up. But he's sitting there. He's looking through some scrolls. And as you enter, he looks up briefly at the four of you. Welcome back, adventurers. Please take a seat. We have much to discuss. Thank you for coming here as quickly as possible. I understand you were far off in the city of Stratham, so I know that's quite a trek. I appreciate you coming here, but there is much we do have to discuss. Just give me one moment here to finish up what I was doing. And you can see he's got this quill in his right hand as he's sitting at his desk. He looks like he was writing. There's a bottle of ink next to him as he's finishing up signing some sort of paperwork. But there is one individual that you notice standing in the office next to his desk. Fairly, militaristic stance. He's silent. He's in heavy armor. This is where we're going to introduce Rod's character, Thaddeus Faust III, but we'll get that here momentarily. Vanellis, he finishes his work and he slowly wraps things up, placing the quill back into the bottle of ink. As Yaito sits down, there's 2 couches and a couple of chairs in the office with a coffee table in the center with some snacks, just like there were before. And there's also some tea and coffee sitting there that is magically being heated, so it's always fresh. But as Yaito and Yutari take a seat, Yaito's looking around. Last time I was not invited into this office. This is a very nice office.
You ain't missed nothing. Very
Yes.
awkward conversation.
I think we had cheese last time.
I remember Rogar kept saying he wanted to be a part of it. He was sad too.
Well, look at you now.
I know.
Core of the group.
I am filling the shoes of either Nomu or Ediar. I feel important.
Nomu didn't wear shoes, so you're doing all right.
This is true too. He also did stupid things all the time. Like we discussed earlier.
He's a
Jumping in between 2 fire elementals and then almost dying. However, I wasn't there for that, so I can't really say.
And that's pretty much what happened, but a
Damn,
few
you're
singed
throwing him under
hairs-
the bus and he's not even here.
I know, a few singed hairs never took him out of the fight.
It
I
is
miss
okay.
Cat.
When you first met me, we had taken out some orcs and ogres, and then we ran into the Skull River, and then you know what happened there. Skull River took me out in one hit with some magic, and I was out cold. So I guess I have my stories too. Well, And as you're discussing, Vanellis finally sits up straight. It seems you are missing a couple of members. Where is Nomu and Ediar Desone?
I'm not their keepers, but as I understand, they're on business.
I did request for them to show their faces as well. Something important must have happened for them to not join you.
You could say that.
Would you like to describe what has kept them from joining you this day?
It's a family emergency. That's the best way I can put it.
You see, he rubs his chin. Interesting. I'll have to make a note of that for the next time I see them. A little bit disappointed.
Is it bad to try to revive someone? Like, is that like...
It's not bad. It is. I mean, it's not taboo either. Many people do. It's just, it's such a rare thing because, again, you have to have sap from the Vitalis tree, and there's only one Vitalis tree in Tyrster, and it's heavily guarded by the druids of Ossia. And, going back into some lore here, the tree of Vitalis is where all life sprouted from. So kind of thinking of it as like the Yggdrasil tree. This is where all the different races all first started, is from this one tree. And this tree is so massive, you can see it from the other nations. That's how big this tree is. It's just that obtaining sap from this tree is rare, and the druids typically don't just allow people in there to do it. Now, the Cathedral of the Octag Divine obviously has its, resources, and it's made a name of itself. So yes, they can procure sap from the tree with trade from time to time, and so can, other nations with people that are of high stature and status, because the sap is limited and it is very expensive. So most people typically just can't resurrect people just because of how rare the sap is and how expensive it is. So it's not taboo by any means. It's just doesn't happen very often.
That's what Nomu's trying to get?
Nomu and Ediar have left to try and get a vial of that sap in order for the Octadic Divine, or the Church of the Octadic Divine, to resurrect.
He's gonna get messed up. I'm not confident.
Shit.
He's gonna have another character by the name of Yala with him.
Oh
so we'll
boy.
For those that
know, we got to keep getting our money up so we can get more resources, and we can get our. We'll talk about it later. Why are we here?
Well, we will discuss that, but first.
And who's
things
this?
first. I'm getting there, Damien. Hold your horses. It's still early in the morning. You're rather energetic, you young lad.
You had us waiting, then we come in here and you still writing on your little book. You weren't even ready. I'm sorry.
You have to excuse him. He didn't have his drink yet today.
I did not have my drink today.
Remember who you're speaking with, Damien Grails. I am the guild master here in New Tempest. Watch your tone with me, boy.
Heard.
Boy.
Yeah, I mean, Damien is human compared to Vanellis, who's an elf. He's way younger than Vanellis. But he looks over at the man, the half, or was it orc or half orc, Rod?
Half orc.
Half orc, sorry. The half orc standing tall and proud in full heavy armor. Vanellis looks over at Thaddeus Faust III. He nods. This is one of the Adventurer Guild's highest esteemed paladins that has worked for me for quite some time. Last we spoke, you had mentioned to me in the Greythorn Forest up north that there were the remains of the ancient dragon lord known as Xandos. You remember the discussion, yes? And last we spoke about it, I mentioned I sent an expedition team to the grave site, which you described, to try and retrieve some of these remains of the Dragon Lord. And as I mentioned before, we did find remains of a dragon, but we weren't sure if it truthfully was Xandos the Great. But after months have gone by, my alchemists were able to prove to me that it indeed was the remains of Xandos. And this is something I want you all to keep secret for the time being. I have only told those that I can trust. I haven't even explained this to the king himself. This is news we don't want the people of Lande or the entire continent knowing. The last thing I need is for a bunch of cultist freaks that follow the Dragon Lords attempting to swarm the Greythorn Forest to try and resurrect the Dragon Lord himself. For those that don't remember the history between the two gods of the Octadic Divine that had to fight against Xandos, we don't need another one of those situations on our hands. None of us here are old enough to have been there for that battle. But I guarantee you, none of us would have wanted to be. So I have called you here to discuss these remains of Xandos, and I need you all to be particularly secretive about this. Thaddeus Faust III, here standing next to me, was the paladin I sent with the expedition team to make sure that they were safe from any prying eyes. He is well trusted, and I have worked with him. But I have requested you to also be here for any tasks that I require regarding the remains of Xandos, for I believe things are going to get a little uneasy as time goes, and I'm going to require assistance with some secretive missions, if you understand what I'm saying. But in the meantime, while I'm waiting to hear back from some of my resources, I need you all to stay nearby so I can call upon you when I require it. So for now, please enjoy your time while you're here in New Tempest. Don't go far. Don't leave the city. You're more than welcome to take on quests here at the guild as long as it keeps you within the vicinity of New Tempest. Do you understand me? This is a direct order. None of you are to leave New Tempest unless it is instructed from me. Do we have an understanding, adventurers?
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
I need a mm-hmm from all four of you.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Yaito's pouring a cup of tea off the table. Oh, yeah, yes. Mm-hmm. Itari's sweating. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. She's saluting. Good. Now, let me introduce Thaddeus. Or Thaddeus, please introduce yourself to the adventurers here. As I've mentioned, these, well, not all of them, were missing Nomu and Ediar Desone, but two of them here, Damien and Isundra, were part of the group that found Xandos. While the four of you are staying here in New Tempest, I'm going to have Thaddeus join you for any of the quests that you may be taking here at the guild. There is a particular one I want to speak about while we're here, but please, Thaddeus, introduce yourself to them.
Well met. I am Sir Thaddeus Faust III, follower of Eris.
Oh. Hey. Slowly he leans over and whispers, "Oh my God, another fucking brood."
He's gonna be a narc.
Totally not.
Yaito, he just slightly bows his head while he's got this small teacup in his left hand and the small tea, or this tea plate, this plate, I should say, in his left hand and the teacup in his right as he's nodding his head, taking a sip. It is a pleasure to meet you, Thaddeus Faust III. I am Yaito. I am from the land of Ashai. And Yatari just waves over at Thaddeus. Hello, I'm Yatari, a student of the New Tempest Universities, recently a brand new adventurer. I've seen my share of combat, but I'm still studying. I have one semester left.
Very good child.
Wait, that faded ass laugh. Somebody eavesdropping outside the door.
I'm not a child, by the way. I'm well into my 20s.
We are all children of the Octadic. Are we not?
Yatari's scratching her forehead. I actually don't follow. I'm not very religious by any means. I don't think the rest of us are either. I think the only one that you probably would have gone along with is Eddie Ardisona. He was a cleric.
This is going to be worse than Ediar.
Yaito's looking, well, don't look at me. I do not understand the Octatic Divine. Back in the Shy, we followed the Omnigami.
Damien, you might have to watch whose pockets you pick.
Why? I never. No, you're right. But yeah. I joke, but it's nice to meet you, Thaddeus. I'm Damien.
It's a
Damien
pleasure.
Corral. Human.
A pleasure.
Nice ears. A lot of you in here with those.
Pointy ears. Yaito looks at Damon. This is true. I think you and I are the only humans right now.
I miss Rogar.
Me too. I miss
Rogar's
his.
not human.
I know, but
But Rogar had the.
he looks so ridiculous. None of
Yes,
that other stuff
especially
mattered.
when he wore your wig, Damien, and his oh hello. I can't do his voice, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
he was
Iman
some sun in my sky. I think I'm depressed.
Iman Vanellis just. Well, now that introductions have been made, thank you again for joining us. I have other things to work on, but there is one quest I specifically wish for the 5 of you to partake in while you're here waiting for further instructions. I want Thaddeus to join you on this quest particularly. There is a quest that we've been dealing with that unfortunately the Adventurers Guild has failed to take care of. And it is baffling to me, and I don't want a sour taste in the citizens of New Tempest thinking that the Adventurers Guild cannot accomplish a task such as this. Recently, there have been reports of an undead sighting along the coast of Zephyr Bay. As you all know, from the reports I've read about the quest you've taken, you all fought some harpies along the coast of Zephyr's Bay, so I'm sure you're well aware of the surroundings here in the city. I need the 5 of you, including Thaddeus, to go up to the docks of the city. Westwards from the docks, you want to speak with some of the sailors and perhaps some of the dock workers there about these undead. But the reports have shown that there are a group of undead that show up only in the evening. We've had 2 separate parties from the guild go to investigate. Neither party has returned. It's been days since the first party, and it's been 2 days since the second party left. This area along the coast is not far. Both parties should have returned by now. We're not sure who or what may be summoning these undead, but I need you all to go and discover what is happening there, find the other adventurers that are missing, and whoever or whatever is summoning the undead, take care of it. And of course, as you know, each quest here at the guild offers a reward. You'll handsomely retrieve 400 gold from us if you can take care of this. Do you understand?
Yeah, you don't gotta convince me to work for money.
Good. Thaddeus, join them, please. Also, there is a new cleric I've noticed here in the Adventurers Guild. Another elf, high elf. Believe he is a cleric of the Twilight Domain. Not sure. He was asking about this quest. Unfortunately, there weren't any other members that were capable of joining him for it, so we forbid him from going. As you know, it's rules of the guild that we don't send adventurers by themselves on dangerous missions. He seemed to be a strapping young lad. Perhaps have him join your party for this particular quest and see what he's capable of. The first 2 groups that went were experienced, and there were 5 in each group. So having a 6th member with you may not hurt. He should be out there in the main guild hall, lousing about, waiting for adventurers to join this quest. Speak with him. Ask Linnell. She'll know who he is. Introduce yourselves, and go find out whoever or whatever is summoning these undead.
You have to see, if this is a reward worth splitting 6 ways,
Thaddeus here will be doing it for free.
Oh, great. Welcome. My favorites kind of help.
Thaddeus more so will be supervising you. I need to know where your capabilities currently lie. And Thaddeus, as I've mentioned, is a well-trusted member of the guild that I trust my life in his hands. He is going to report back to me of how well your team works together and what you're capable of. Because going forward, there may be things I really need to know and understand regarding Xandos. And if I'm going to rely on you lot, then I'm going to need to know where your strengths and where your weaknesses lie. And with Nomu and Ediar not being here, I suggest you do bring Thaddeus with you. He is a paladin. You're also missing a cleric. I don't see anyone here that's capable of healing your wounds. So go and
You don't know
speak
what
with
I
that
got in
man.
my bag. Yeah, I need a drink. And Damien's gonna leave.
Yaito's looking at Damien as he's leaving. Apologies, Master Iman Vanellis. That is very rude. If we were back in the Shy, one of the lords of Shimara would have had his head for being so disrespectful. You have my apologies uh, for Damien's incorrect exit there. Iman Vanellis just chuckles. That strapping young lad, he's young, he doesn't understand the business he's about to get into. But you have your orders. As long as Damien accompanies you, I don't care. Now, please enjoy what the Adventurers Guild has to offer. Thaddeus, thank you again for accepting this mission and joining the team here. I'm sure you'll learn a lot of how they work together. Remember, you are a team. You're all part of the same guild. Work well together. Now, you may be off. Go find that cleric I spoke about.
He'll just give a salute and he will head out.
Yaito and Yatari stand up and they'll head out as well. And as the five of you now step back into the main area of the Adventurers Guild where Linnell is, he mentioned to speak with Linnell about finding this cleric of the Twilight Domain. Linnell notices you all step out after Damien, and Linnell waves over. Hello, hopefully everything went well. Did Master Iman Vanellis tell you about the quest he wants you to partake in, by any chance?
Yeah. Damien turns to Isundra. Did you hear him? Talking down to us like we can't do this without Baldy? You don't know what the f I've been through, man. We haven't been busting our asses for a year for some person I've never seen in my life. He looks at Thaddeus. To have to babysit me on a job.
Yeah, he
This
has
is
no idea that
ridiculous.
we killed
Oh no! This is so frustrating.
Can I do a perception to see if I can overhear him?
Yes. Oh! That's a
Big ass
20.
ears.
You see, Thaddeus' ears
I
are
wanted
perking.
him to hear me. Shit. Fuck about him.
You do hear them. Do you say something, Thaddeus? So, have you ever wanted to start your own podcast and just had no clue on where to begin? Fear not, for we at Taverns and Caverns are here to help you. Before we began the Taverns and Caverns podcast, we originally had a few members who wanted to learn the game of Dungeons & Dragons. With 3 of the 4 players being new to the game, we decided to make a podcast of it just for fun, and to possibly encourage others to try the game for themselves. Starting a podcast can seem daunting, but we're here to tell you that it can be simple with an all-in-one tool. It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Log in using your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. Feel a sense of zen, knowing Zencastr's multi-layered backups ensure you always have your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable. If you have thought about podcasting before and realized that you need a lot of different tools and services, those days are now over, my friend. With Zencastr's all-in-one podcasting platform, you can create your podcast all in one place and distribute to Spotify, Apple, and other major destinations. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use my code TavernsCaverns, and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experience as I do for all my podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. And with that, let us continue our campaign.
It is not disrespect to have concern of your lives.
What? Listen. All I'm saying, he takes a few steps closer to him. Stay out of my way. And he starts walking down the stairs.
Is that a challenge?
Who's asking? You?
All right, everybody, let us cool down.
I mean, we can take this to the nearest table. And Damien sits down and pulls his sleeve up.
Damien, in the name of the Omnikami, please just have some tea.
No,
And-
Yaito, let them arm wrestle.
Oh, is that what they're trying to do? Arm wrestle? I thought they were going to tear each other's heads off.
Oh, I assumed it was the Grasha way.
Oh,
Yes.
well, I mean, did Grash...
I'm a duckling.
This is true. We are all ducklings of Grash. I miss Grash, by the way.
Come on, Thaddeus. What you just standing there for? You talking all that shit?
Oh, he goes.
You want to
Oh.
supervise me? Yeah. Come on.
Oh, so you're doing an arm wrestle then?
Yeah.
Linnell's like looking around. Oh, well, things got out of hand rather quickly.
It's
well,
like 8 o'clock in the morning. And
yeah,
we're
literally.
Yeah, absolutely.
You gotta prove himself before he be fucking acting like he gonna watch over me.
Before he joins Cat and Co, he's got to prove himself. I mean, you
I'd
guys
say-
did test every new member of Cat and Co. This is true.
We gotta roll a strength.
Yes, so arm wrestle, it's going to be athletics versus athletics.
Oh, okay, not strength.
Oh,
Yeah, well, athletics is part of your strength, but you'll get to add
That's fair. Okay.
your athletics if you have extra bonuses to your athletics. Yeah.
okay.
So athletics versus athletics. You see Thaddeus and Damien, they sit down at one of the tables and they're locking hands, about to arm wrestle. Yaito's still sipping the same tea he was sipping from Iman Vanellis' room, and he's just looking at Isundra and Yatari. This just brings back memories, does it not? Oh, Damien with a 15. Oh!
Oh no.
21. So with the 15 versus 20, Thaddeus obviously is above Damien by 6 points in athletics. Thaddeus is able to fairly easily defeat Damien in the arm wrestle.
Damien shakes his arm out. Hold on, I need a drink first. And he goes to get a scotch neat.
Actually, Thaddeus joined for a drink.
Oh.
Bro. He
Why
steps
you
to the
moving further
side.
away?
Right. Why? I said I'd be back.
Well, I would like a drink as well. A cognac.
Well, while you all are having drinks, I'm not the one that pours the drinks. Sir Griswold on the other side does that. But there is someone I have to introduce you to if you're taking on the quest that I think you're taking on along Zephyr Bay. There is a young cleric here that has been looking for a team to join him on this quest. Let me go get him so you can introduce yourselves to him. He is a fairly new member here at the Adventurers Guild. Recently received his badge this morning, actually. Fresh, strapping young lad who's ready to see some action. So let me go and grab Mr. Silverwind, and I'll be back.
Oh, you got a name on him. Cognac, huh? My grandma used to drink that shit.
Linnell steps around the counter, and she goes to find Kendo's character, Alaric. Is it Alaric or Alaric?
Alaric.
Alaric Silverwind. Linnell, she is a high elf as well. Long blonde hair, green eyes. She finds, your character Kendall and brings Alaric to the group with a smile. At this point, though, Thaddeus and Damon have received their drinks. You guys, I'm assuming, are at the table now where you guys are arm wrestling. At least Yaito's sitting down enjoying his tea. And Yatari is going to sit down and look through some of her scrolls while she's waiting. I don't know what Isundra's doing, but you do notice Linnell return back to the group with this Twilight cleric with long silver hair. I think it's long. I think you said
Yeah,
long
it's
hair.
long.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So I just want to describe Thaddeus. You have seen Kendall's character. You have seen Alaric before, but you have never really introduced yourself to him, so he's still new to you. But Linnell steps forward with him at her side. Well, I've returned with your new party member for the quest along Zephyr Bay, as I've mentioned, or I don't know if Iman Vanellis the guildmaster mentioned. The reward is 4,000 gold, but he's told me that Thaddeus will not be partaking in the reward, so you can split that however you see fit. Master Iman Vanellis has made sure that no one else is to take this quest but your group. He trusts your capabilities, so no one else here in the guild will be partaking in it. So please let me know if you have any other questions, as I'm sure he's told you before. You'll want to seek out the northern docks along Zephyr Bay, maybe speak to some of the sailors or dock workers to get some insight on what might be happening along the coast with these undead. But you have, all the time you need. I wish you all the safest travel. I know it's not far from here, but, I wish to see that you all return. I've heard that 2 different parties have gone and have not returned, and I'm hoping by the Octadic Divine that they are not all, let's just say, dead. Hopefully they're fine, but I don't know. It's not looking too good. But I wish you all the luck, and I will see you when you return. And she's going to walk away to allow the party to introduce themselves to the new cleric in town here. So, Kendall, would you like to describe how your character steps into the scene, and how does he introduce himself to this wild party that we're having? You've gotten to see how they interact with one another, but remember, your character has no idea how they interact. So keep that in mind.
So I am just energetic, yet curious to see this new party because I am ready to take on a new adventure. So they don't know me right now, so I can just go in and just talk to the party.
Yep.
Okay. So it's a pleasure to meet all of you. My name is Alaric Silverwind, and I am the Twilight Cleric that you might have heard from everyone else here. Are you the party that's heading out to the quest?
Yep. So you're new, like fresh out the pack new.
Unfortunately so.
No, it's not unfortunate. Not because you're with us. Listen, we don't normally let noobs in the group, but apparently they're acting like this is some super dangerous job where we need to be, and he gestures at Thaddeus, babysat. But you seem to have the ears. You can fit right in. And he plops down with his scotch.
Pleasure's mine. And who is the...
Go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to ask for the next party member, I guess. And the young lady next to you, who may you be?
I'm Isundra. Nice to meet you.
The pleasure is mine.
The scotch is so good. Did I say what my name was?
No, you just went straight to on. I guess I could just go and I'm sorry, sir. I don't think I caught your name earlier.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was just worried about this drink. My name is Damien. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you as well.
I can't wait till you meet Desiree.
Oh, do you have another party member here?
Something like that.
She only comes around once in a while.
Interesting.
Only when she's needed.
And you, sir, next to... I'm sorry, is that a half-orc over there?
Yes. Sir Thaddeus Faust the Third.
Nobody calling you sir.
Do we have to call you sir?
No.
Oh, goodness, aren't you a blessing? It's not common to see a half-orc devote his life as a paladin.
Why is it not?
It's not... I mean, have you ever seen another half-orc as yourself devoted to a life as a paladin? That was my question.
I've seen plenty.
Oh, well, can anyone else from this table tell me if they've seen a half-orc devoted as a paladin before?
I'm weak, not a vote. But he's right. You are quite unique, Thaddeus.
Yatari raises her hand slightly up. I'm Yatari, student of the New Tempest Universities, and truthfully, I have seen other half-orcs and full orcs, actually, as paladins. There is a famous one that is from the land of Zogun by the name of Broxark. He is not a paladin, but he is a war priest, follower of... Gosh, my studies... I'm trying to remember now. He is a follower of Solaris.
Well, I'll keep that in mind then. It's nice to meet you, Thaddeus. I'll try to keep my comments to myself and moving forward.
No, no, no. Never keep your comments to yourself.
Oh, good. I didn't
Share.
intend to. Anyways, on to the next party member. You, sir, over to the other end of the table. I didn't catch your name.
Yaito sips from his cup of tea. I am Yaito of Earth Sky. Pleasure to meet you. I am a sorcerer from the land of Ashai. Do you know where Ashai is? Very far to the east, another continent.
I have not heard of it before, but I think I have a book that I may be able to read
Oh, well, if you have any questions regarding Ashai, I can tell you all about it. The gods there are not like the ones here. You have the octadic divine, the heptatic evils. In Ashai, it's much more simple when it comes to the gods. We follow the great animal spirits, the Omnikami, and also the earthly sky dragons, which I know you understand what dragons are. Although your dragons here in Tirasta are very different from the dragons in Ashai. But
Oh,
so are the gods. It is a pleasure to meet you.
it's nice to meet you as well.
And Yutari's gonna raise her finger. As I mentioned, I'm Yutari, student here at New Tempest Universities. You are a cleric. I didn't catch the paladin's religion. Thaddeus, which god did you say you followed?
Edis.
Oh, Erdis, the god of good fortune.
Yes.
Interesting. Now that's a combination I have never seen. A half-orc paladin that follows the god of good fortune. Typically, the paladins I've run into follow, Solaris, the goddess of honor and courage, or Armas, the goddess of, or the god of strength. Actually, no, I was incorrect. My professors would kill me. Broxarg was actually a cleric that followed Armas, not Solaris. I goofed. Ediar was a follower of Solaris. And you, Alaric Silverwind, you are definitely dressed up in attire that is very dark. Do you follow Lunaris by any chance, the goddess of the moon?
I do.
Oh, see, my studies have not failed me. See, Damien, my money was well spent.
I'm just saying, it's nothing if you don't graduate.
Well, look, Liz, I said I have one semester left, okay?
Hmm.
I'll
Well,
get there. I'll get there.
well, yeah. You're not. I don't know if you should go on this job. I think you should go back to school. Looks like we got all the manpower we need.
I mean, if you're willing to do this quest without me, I don't need the gold. I mean, I could sit this one out and see you guys afterwards.
Yeah, you should do that. Sorry, I gave my wife so much of my money. It's not that, So
As
what,
you,
4,000 gold? Now it's
I mean,
four of us?
I mean,
1,000?
as you should, Damien, you do have two children at home. You do need to support them, yes? So that makes sense you gave your wife all that money.
Mm-hmm. He's doing some math in his head. Yeah. I gotta
Yes.
pay.
So that will be
Fine.
1,000 gold between the four of us. Technically five, since Thaddeus is here, but he won't be taking part of the cut. And then if Yatari takes a break, which is fine, it will be 1,000 gold for each of us. That sounds very nice.
Yeah, I can't be mad. I mean, I had better for how dangerous they're acting like this is, but it is what it is. All right, Thaddeus, run it back.
Excuse me.
Come sit down and arm wrestle me again.
He will, but before he does, you see him grab a alchemist bottle from his hip, puts it in his hair. I will describe him since I didn't do that earlier. He is about 6'1". He's got a strongman, like the world strongman competition type, that type of build, like the bulky, muscular build. Jerry curl with a full beard. He has olive brown skin, and his tusks, they're not protruding like they usually are. They are kind of filed down. to be a little bit more squarish. They're not like what you see for a typical half orc. Like he's got kind of work done, like plastic surgery.
Bitch.
His armor looks like he's never stepped and like seen any type of battle. Think of it like kind of like the Incurcio armor from Kill la Kill, with like just basically a long coat, but his breastplate is under the coat. His like pauldrons are at the outside of the coat. His gauntlets are kind of halfway up his sleeves as well, and he has like a kite shield that is on his back. That does look like it's been through many battles, and he has a long sword that is strapped to his back that you cannot see the blade yet. But he will join Damien for round 2.
Wish Grasha was here to see this.
Nah, she didn't need to see that injustice.
Yes, Grasha would be disappointed in you, Damien, for losing to this new guy.
Would she? And he slams his Theodore Faust's fucking arm on the table.
A 22. Damien and Thaddeus has an 18. Damien comes back and wins this round of arm wrestling. Meanwhile, Yaito looks over at Alaric. Mr. Alaric, this is common here in Cat & Co. I know it doesn't make sense, but our group is called Cat & Co. And Damien is very, not aggressive, but
I think confrontational is the word that you're looking for.
yes, this is the word. Yes,
I'm not confrontational at all. I'm trying to test this person. You want some of this? Matter of fact, Claire, I mean, if strength's not your strong suit, we could do something else to test your abilities. You gotta be able to hold your own, not just in a fight, but in a conversation.
Okay.
That is just over there, just shaking his head.
How else will you test it?
Yeah, that's a good point. Go over there and arm wrestle him, and then I'll arm wrestle the winner. Actually, we had a tie. We have to break it.
Yaito is just sipping his tea. Mr. Alaric.
How about we make a little friendly wager?
Listening.
Loser buys the next one's drinks.
Oh my goodness, things are getting spicy now.
That's fine. Very much okay with me. And he puts his elbow on the table.
He does the same.
Oof.
Oh, no!
That's a close one, though.
Yeah, that's very close.
We're all tired.
Yeah, it's we got Damien with 12 and Thaddeus with a 14. Thaddeus barely able to win this one, but he does score the victory over Damien on the third match.
Ah, shit. All right.
Remember, cognac. None
Right.
of that bottom shelf shit.
Yeah, I know, old lady. And he walks over to Alaric. You drinking?
Oh, I don't partake in any drinks. I'm sorry.
Really?
I just like to sit here and read my books from time to time.
Shit. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, the art underwater.
Yes,
I'm weak. Not underwater. You sound like you got a bag on your face. It's COVID. He's wearing a mask. And then, damn, Thaddeus. You look behind him and he just fucking pops up again. But Damien's like, so what made you get into adventuring? Seems like a pretty out there profession for a guy that wants to sit in the corner and read a book.
Well, I mean, you only can learn so much behind a book, so I realized that maybe I ought to go on an adventure to experience the world for as it is.
Are you trying to rob him?
All right, listeners, Bry is now rolling a sleight of hand.
It was
Can you
poor.
explain what this is for?
Well, I was trying to see if Alaric would pay for our drinks, but now I'm just like telling him how nice his belt looks. No, he's like
Can
grabbing his jacket,
well,
like this is
Can I
nice,
do a
bro.
perception check to
Well,
see
at this
that?
at this point, yes, make me a perception. So all you have to do on your character sheet, Ken, yeah, you got it. 19. Alaric sees what the fuck you're doing. He sees you, your hand going down there.
Are you kidding me? Are you trying to steal from me?
Whoa, no,
The
I just,
nerve of
oh
the
yeah, I
nerve
was
of
trying
some
to
party
steal. I
members
thought you was
here.
trying to accuse me of like sex. This jacket just looks really expensive, bro. I was just trying to see if it was designer or if it was knockoff. I was
And
trying
you
to look in
also
the
think that I'm a
inside tie.
goddamn fool like that.
Go on.
And also, you think that I'm a fool.
No, I don't. You read.
Okay.
And smart people are usually also wealthy. So, yes, I tried to pick my target. But the fact that you saw me out means you have very, very good senses, you know?
Yeah,
You're
that was
perceptive.
actually your test.
I will bring you back one of Yaito's cups of tea.
This is
so
an
that you don't.
interesting party indeed.
Well, yeah, it's not like you have anyone to compare us to. It's your first day. Don't be picky.
Yaito goes, he's just nodding in the background, sipping his tea. This is true. You have no experience with parties, Alaric. It is your first day. Come, take a seat with us. I will give you one of the tea flavors that I have collected while I have been here in Tirister. What kind of tea did you like?
Do you have any type of floral tea?
Oh, plenty, yes. What kind is your favorite?
I'll take a chrysanthemum tea if you have one of those.
Oh, of course. You see, Saito, he looks happy. He pulls out his bag. He's pulling out the small little satchel that just has all his tea that's combined in it. He's pulling out the exact flavor you want. He uses his magic as he is a sorcerer. His hands light up as he heats up a cup of water, pours it into a cup of tea, and then places the tea bag into that cup and hands it over to Alaric. Here you go. I hope you enjoy. Welcome to Cat and Co. And I
Thank you
understand
very much.
you may not understand Cat and Co, but there is a party member by the name of Nomu the Monstrous. He's not here with us right now, but he is why we are called Cat and Co, because he is Catman.
I see.
Yes, we're also missing Baldy, as Damien would call him. He is our other cleric, Ediar Dosone of House Dosone. He is not here with us either. Maybe you will meet the two of them one day.
Also, if I may ask, where are the other party members?
They are
Or why
on.
are they?
They are on another secret mission.
I see.
And then Damien hands Thaddeus his cognac. And he turns to Alaric. We'll fill you in. As an honorary, temporary, whatever you want to call yourself, member of Cat and Co, we will fill you in on a little bit of what's been going on, but not here.
I do think that it would be the smart move, I think. Just judging from the other adventurers that are here in this inn.
Yeah, you're likely not the only perceptive person in here.
Mm-hmm.
Isundra, have you done the deed?
What?
I didn't do all that wingmanning for nothing. Go ask her out before we leave.
Okay. Well, we don't have time. We have to go on a mission.
No, don't be making excuses. We have time.
Are you sure?
Do it. Shakes his fist.
Okay.
Do it.
Linnell.
So y'all see Isundra just walks off, and Yaito's just sipping his tea again. He's got this grin on his face. Yes, this is good. Isundra likes the girl over there. We will wait for Isundra to get an answer before we go on mission, yes?
Yes, this is important.
Yes, very important for Isundra. She has tried very hard to go on date with Linnell. So, let's not rush the situation, okay? And Linnell turns around hearing Isundra. Oh, hello, Isundra. Can I help you?
Hi, Linnell. I was just wondering if maybe you would want to go out again sometime.
But of course. When were you thinking?
We have a mission to go on, but maybe after it's finished?
Of course. Perhaps if you have time after the mission, I think I can squeeze a bit of time in my calendar for another date. What were you thinking?
I don't know. Yaito knows maybe some really good tea place we could try.
Oh, I do enjoy me a good cup of tea. Yeah, that works for me. As long as it's not like the place we went to last time. There was a lot of odd things going on there.
Yeah. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
And there is something I do have to bring up. I am
Uh-oh.
curious on something.
Uh-oh.
As you know, I have plenty of sisters out there. My sister Manel in Stratham did mention something about you. Is it true that you were into her as well?
Oh, I don't remember what did I say to her?
I don't know. Hey,
I don't remember. I just remember I think I hit on her, right?
yes, you did hit on her.
Yeah, I give so much bad advice, I can't keep up. No idea.
Actually, I can't remember if you gave which one you gave jewelry to.
It was Linnell.
It was Linnell.
Yeah. So I think I just hit.
Manel did not go on a date with
No,
Isundra.
I think I just tried to shoot my shot once. I think
Yes.
that's all.
Yes.
I mean, I may have complimented her a couple times.
Well, I'm just curious, it is my sister after all. I'm just trying to make sure that it wasn't really her that you were into and you're only going after me because we are twins. Well, not twins, there's 10 of us.
Whatever that is.
Except there's one that doesn't follow the general theme. My sister Canal is an adventurer and a merchant, and she dyes her hair red. The rest of us, though, work as receptionists and fellow adventurers of the Adventurers Guild. And Manel happened to tell me about you after I've spoken with her. She is the closest sister to me, as she is in the same nation of Londe. All my other sisters are in the other nations all around Tyrester, so I am closest with Manel. She happened to bring your name up, and I told her all about you. So I was just curious, that's all.
Surprised she remembered me.
But you have it. After your mission, hopefully all goes well, I'll squeeze a bit of time in my calendar. Just come see me after the mission is complete.
That sounds good. I'll try to get a good tea place from Yaito.
Very good. I'll leave that up to you.
Why do I gotta find the place if I don't even live here?
You're the one asking her out, bro.
That's true. But I don't know anything in this city. Damn.
You better find out. You better roll that investigation.
I think I took her to like a cafe last time too.
You
but
did.
I don't know. Where
You
else do you
did.
go in a world like this?
Hey, it's fantasy. It's whatever you want. You can take her to a steak shop if you want. You can
Yeah,
take her.
no, you gotta
steak
have
shop.
a picnic. I'll cook.
Oh Lord.
What? I cooked last time. I cooked on the boat and it was delicious.
This is true. This is true. There was an episode you guys were on a boat.
Going ferry.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, Isundra, Damien walks up. Not to break up the fun, but we gotta go. We have more tales to wow you with, my dear. You won't even be able to recognize Isundra the next time you see her.
Well, I look forward to seeing you all return safely from this quest, and I hope you find the other missing adventurers. I will see you when you all return safe and sound. I wish you all the best of luck. May the Octadic Divine guide you.
See ya.
You when we get back.
Bye-bye.
Ew.
Why'd you give me a bye-bye?
I don't know. I don't know.
Ew.
I just got the ick. I don't know.
Yeah, or Itari's rubbing her chin with a smile. So, Isundra, she's rubbing her hands now, looking like a gritty merchant. So, how'd it go? She say yes? She say no?
She said yes, so I have to find a good place to go.
Oh, well, I mean, that's fair. You're the one asking her out, right? She looks at Alaric and Thaddeus, right? That's how it works.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Maybe you could take her to a play. All the entertainment's up there. So you just gotta,
I said the tea place, but a play might be nice.
Yeah, to give her the old stretch around the shoulder, Can't do that when you're out to eat.
Perhaps you can
Yes, I want to give her the reach around.
Perhaps give her a reach around while watching play and ordering a nice cup of tea. You know what goes well with tea? Some nice sweets.
Hey,
Perhaps pick up a snack on the way.
Alaric, you look fancy. You're on the dating scene? You seeing anybody? What would you do for a date?
I would take my partner out on a walk in the night to see the beautiful stars and the moon.
That's it?
I mean, there's so much more to beauty in itself than with just doing the walk, having a conversation, being able to.
I mean, are you walking to somewhere specific, like something, or are you just walking?
Why does there have to be a destination? Why does there have to be an ending to a destination?
I just feel like open-ended answers like that sounds like a setup. I'm a rogue. I don't know. I can't think any other way.
Are you trying to set me up here?
No, I'm just projecting.
Can you tell me how many successful dates that you had? Can you tell me how many successful dates you had?
I'm married.
Oh.
That cancels out all that shit. Yeah. She may have said no the first 2 times I asked her out, but I got that ass in the end.
I'm sorry for our loss.
Shut your ass up.
Anyways, Isundra, I think you'll do just fine.
Yatari's raising her hand. Well, we could always ask Sir Thaddeus Faust III.
I think we ought not. He looks like he yeah, I just think that we ought to avoid that.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
I would have to agree. I would not be the best in giving advice, giving my younger days.
And he agrees.
What are you? Yatari shrugs. What are you talking about, Thad? Please, you're now part of the party. Do explain to us. We'd like to know some of your backstory, as long as it's not tragic like every other
man
story.
of God.
Oh, well, in my younger days, before military school, before my redemption, I used to be a bit of I used to spread my seed a lot. Let's just say that.
I was not expecting Rod to say it.
Goodness.
I hope you was farming.
No,
what does it mean to spread your seed?
Please, can we not?
Right, nothing. He puts his ears over Isundra. He puts his hands over Isundra's ears.
Let's not discuss that.
Yeah, you don't corrupt this. She's still learning. How dare you?
The shocking part of
no
it
longer
all
do that.
As refined as this half orc is, you would think that he had nothing but a stick up the underside of the moon this whole time, but for him to be doing all of that is quite a shocker.
Yatari places a hand to her mouth. Oh, Thaddeus, so you are a gaze upon the stars and chill type of man.
Pretty much. With all the wild parties we used to have, me and my cousin. But with our parents being owners of the lunar glow, we had access to certain things.
Yatari rubbing her chin. How do you know you don't have any children out there? Do you have kids, that is? Isn't it? How's that work for a paladin if a paladin has kids? I've never met a paladin with children before. Do you know if you have kids? If you were...
There's a mission we should go to.
Woohoo! Damien pulls up a chair and spins it backwards. His chest is leaning on that bitch. Nah. Let's talk about it. That's a good ass question. That is a really good question. Conflict of interest, even. What's your oath as a paladin, anyway?
Vengeance.
That's your vengeance on all your baby mamas by not helping them?
I'm sure if I had any children by now, they'd have been well have known.
Is that true, though? As Yatari speaks out, I know plenty of orphans that don't know who their parents are. I don't know who my parents are.
Oh, shit.
We got trauma now. Thaddeus is an absent father.
I know. But Yatari, I guarantee you, Thaddeus ain't your daddy.
Again, I am reformed. I no longer do that as what I did in my youth.
But it can also be so. What you're saying, as reformed, you can also be broken at some point,
Broken how?
as in corrupted. Yeah, like you're not pure.
He's a
You had
corrupt
a
paladin.
yeah, you had a history with doing sinful things, and now you're reformed, and we have to keep that in mind for any type of demons or dark beings that may be able to corrupt you.
Don't take him to a brothel.
What is this Rob's character from season 2? Is this
No, no, it's not.
Not the Hota.
not the Hotalu Bay?
No, I no longer do those such things. It was a time I was a bit ashamed
Well, as much
of.
as I like to know about your love life in the past, I do think we should be going on to a quest, don't we?
Agreed.
All right.
Anyone?
Damien downs the rest of his drink.
Listen, Yaito was just enjoying the conversation. It is good to have talks between party members, get to know one another.
We can walk and talk.
This is very true. I mean, if this is the case, very well, I will finish up my tea. Yotari, since you won't be joining us, we hope to see you after the mission. We can meet you back here at Adventurers Guild. Hopefully everything is still at your dorm. Yotari just nods. Yeah. Well, next mission, I'll join you guys. Like I said, there's a lot of things I need to check up on. Don't forget, Barsora is still at the smithy. There be smoke. If you need anything, y'all remember Barsora. You can take out the spiders underneath her smithy many moons ago. If there's anything you need, I'm sure she'll give it to you. But I'll see you guys when you get back. I'll meet you here. Bye. And Yatari is going to walk out with you guys, but then go a completely separate direction, leaving the 5 of you to yourselves. And at that point, you guys are now outside, stepping out. It's still early morning. You do know that the destination of the quest is to the north, near the docks, because it's along Zephyr Bay, the coastal areas of New Tempest. As I've mentioned in Season 1, New Tempest is the city of wind. There are several high towers and windmills that are spread along the city, as the city is right along the coast of Zephyr Bay. So you have a beautiful scenic view along the city here. But going up north, you are able to get to the docks fairly quickly. It's not far from where the Adventurers Guild is. And because it's still early morning, there are several ships that are docked with many of the dock workers, transporting goods and doing their thing. There's some sailors that are, some of them are working, swabbing their decks. Yeah, it's very heavily, I should say, it's busy here. Plenty of citizens walking about as you get there. But as you're walking, Yaito is just looking at Thaddeus and Alaric and he wants to ask, I need to know, Thaddeus and Alaric, you both wear this armor. Thaddeus, I am assuming, based off your equipment, you are a melee combatant, yes? You do not, I'm sure you know some spells as paladin, but you prefer up-close combat. Alaric, how about you? Do you focus on close range or short or long distance? This is something we need to know. I am a sorcerer. I focus more so on magic. Same as Isundra, who is a warlock. She will give you the melty brain shit. And Damien likes the close range attacks because he is a rogue, so he focuses with his rapier and his short sword of flame's kiss. That is the same sword you still use, yes, Damien?
Oh, of course. This is my baby right here. And he pulls it out. Never fails me. And and he flips around and flips up his cape to show his javelin.
Oh, yes, I forgot about sheep apapoom tau.
Yeah, just stop.
Okay.
But yes, I think we're all going to be a really solid team. This is it's a change, but I've got faith in us.
Yes, I am just trying to understand Alaric's fighting style. How do you fight, Alaric? Tell us.
So, for me, I am quite versatile in many different ranges. I have a glaive and a quarterstaff, in addition to a longbow. And as being a Twilight Cleric, I can also cast some spells at a distance if I need to.
Very good. You are interesting. Not exactly the same as Ediar, but I assume as cleric you know probably similar spells to Ediar. You can heal if we are hurt, yes?
Yes, as a Twilight Cleric, and being as a spirit warrior, I do need to make sure that I can defend myself if need be in close range combat.
Very good. And I am not incorrect, Thaddeus, am I, in my assumption of your fighting style?
That is correct. I am more of the up and close and personal.
I bet, seed spreader. I'm sorry. That'll be the last time I bring it up. Unless you tell anybody about that arm wrestling match, because I wasn't ready.
He just looks kind of not really pissed, but he looks a little bit flustered, wishing he didn't share that information of his past.
Yeah, you don't know. You fucking with. We will use you against you.
Damien is not wrong. You can ask
I'm not gonna
Isundra.
tell nobody else. It stays within the party if that's of any comfort to you.
Yeah, I no longer do such things. It's just me and when I was my youth, I was a bit of a hellion, yes, but no longer, thanks to the schools of reform.
Should have seen my brothel days. Woo-wee! I am no saint. I think the closest one here to any type of innocence is Isundra, just because she doesn't know what's going on, you know?
This is true.
Hopefully
I
it
agree.
stays that way.
Well,
Thaddeus has seen some shit.
You've done some shit.
he's done some fucking wild ass shit. So,
Basically, think of them like as the rich party frat boys,
oh Jesus, were you part of like Sigma or some shit?
like party rock, that type of shit.
Well, the party is able to get to the docks, and as I mentioned, it's sprawling with several workers running about, and this is an opportunity for the cat or the party to ask questions about the whereabouts of these undead and where they might be, if they've seen anyone or the past adventurers come through, to try and figure out where exactly they are along the coast, because frankly, the coast along Zephyr's Bay is massive. You could be searching for days if you don't know where you're going. So this would be the perfect opportunity to start investigating and gathering that information. But we'll go ahead and say that we'll end the first episode of Taverns and Caverns Season 3 here. Thank you, everyone, for listening to another exciting episode of Taverns and Caverns. This is your Dungeon Master, HaphazardDM. You can find me on Twitter at HaphazardDM.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's Bri. I play Damien/Desiree, and you can find me on Twitter at Blaze_NBK.
Hi, I'm Felicia, and I play Isundra. You can find me anywhere on the internet at daggertribal.
Hi, I'm Rod or Rodimus, playing Thaddeus. You can find me on Blue Sky at Rodimus83 or Twitter or X at Rodimus7901.
Hey, my name is Kendall, and I play Alaric Silverwind, and you can find me on Twitter at AirDashClubKen.
All right, thank you guys. Those are our players for Taverns and Caverns Season 3. And again, don't forget to check out the Taverns and Caverns Patreon. On our Patreon, you'll find exclusive monthly episodes that are strictly exclusive to our Patreon, as well as some additional content that you won't want to miss. So thanks again, everyone. Until next time on Taverns and Caverns.